Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Simi. And of course, I am here to tell you, the military spouse, how to navigate USA jobs like I promised. So go on and get comfortable, get your computer, come get this tea. Welcome. All right, all right. Let's clock this tea. I do have the USA Jobs website pulled up, and I have a couple of other screens open on my screen. So this one here is where you would come to the website and you would create a login. So I did do create a login. So came here, you'll fill out your demographics. I have the top part of it covered because y'all don't need to know my address on the internet. That's crazy. But you'll fill out your demographics here. And right here where it says hiring staff or hiring paths, you'll go ahead and choose what you want. I have one for the public. I have one for recent graduate because I graduated December 2023 with my bachelor's. Kudos to me. And I also have military spouse as my hiring path. So when I go to apply to jobs, these things will pop up. And so you want to make sure that when you come in and you create your account on USA Jobs, that you make sure you click these hiring paths that pertain to you. You want to make sure you do this because each time, sometimes they can go in and they can look at the people that are in this pool and they can actually pull you and say, hey, we have these jobs in your local area. We thought you would be a good fit. And several times I have done this and it has worked. It has worked. I'm not going to steer you wrong on what has worked for me. I'm just trying to give you the tea so it can work for you too. So down here, it says experience. So if you've ever worked for the federal government, of course, you would not be here because you already know how USA Jobs works. But for my girlies and my fellas that have not gone on USA Jobs to get a position as a military spouse, this one is for you. So you'll go down here. You don't have to, everything will be no for you. I previously worked in the healthcare industry with the military. I was GS6. I've never been prior service. And this is where you fill out your previous work history. So you'll fill that in, of course, your education, your languages, the organizations you've worked for, and of course your references. And this serves as all the time as your application so you don't get lost in the mix. This will be your profile on USA Jobs. As you can see, USA Jobs profile. So you'll go in, you'll create this, you'll say, save it there, never have to change it ever again, no matter what. You'll never have to change it again, except for updating, career experience and positions and things like that. But other than that, you'll never have to do it again, sis, or bruh. You'll never have to do it again. So, all right, here's the next part. So I'll come back to the USA Jobs homepage. And of course, my name is here highlighted. Let's do what we do. All right, so you can always scroll down, click learn about all hiring paths. You can, of course, click military spouses, and it'll give you a brief explanation here. Eligibility. Federal agencies can use the military spouse non-competitive hiring process to fill positions on either a temporary or a permanent basis. You are eligible if you are a spouse of an active duty of armed forces, a spouse of a service member who is 100% disabled due to a service-connected injury at the time of separation from the military service, a spouse of a service member killed while on active duty. So that pretty much covers all of the military spouses, okay? So if your husband got out and, he got that 100%, maybe you qualify as a military spouse. If your spouse is currently in serving on active duty orders, maybe you are a military spouse. And if your spouse was killed, RIP to him or her, you qualify. So you can work for the federal government under this hiring path. And you are no longer eligible if you get remarried. So if you were married to somebody in the service and you went out and found you another little boo thing and they're not military, baby, this does not apply to you. Go ahead and go over to the public one that's blue and apply under there because they're not going to give you any kind of spousal preference because, baby, you are not a spouse anymore, okay? You are no longer a military spouse because you remarried to a civilian, okay? But all you have to do is provide documentation. And what the documentation says is you are really married to this spouse. Y'all not a boyfriend, girlfriend. Y'all are legally married in whatever U.S. state you belong to. You guys are married. A copy of the spouse's active duty orders. So 9 times out of 10, you guys are stationed somewhere. They got some active duty orders to go to that location. So all you have to do is upload that there. And I'm going to actually show you what mine looks like. So we're going to go here, and we're going to click Samantha. I done told y'all, see, 84. I be applying, and I done saved a couple so I can show y'all, come in here and apply to them so y'all can see, but neither here nor there. Let's move on. Documents, right? So I upload a few because I personally like to have different resumes for different positions, because of course they always tell you, tailor that resume. So as you can see here, you are allowed to upload more than one resume if you choose. You're allowed to upload 5. Right now, I have 4 out of 5 because, your girl has a diverse background. I have some managerial, I have some healthcare, I have some IT, I have some, customer service. I have a diverse background. So I'm here to show you, hey, you can have a diverse background and go ahead and upload several different resumes as long as it's in federal format. Baby, you can upload it. Tell them your experience. Clock your coins, okay? But yeah, outside of this, down here it says make your resume searchable. Only Word documents, text-based PDFs, text files, resumes created using our career resume builder tool are searchable. I got a little tongue-tied. It is Wednesday hump day. I'm so sorry, but we're gonna keep pushing along. Do not include the following in your resume: classified or government sensitive information, your social security number, photos of yourself, personal information such as age, gender, or religious affiliation. Now, the military is really big on discrimination. So, there's a law in place where they cannot discriminate against you based off age, sex, gender, or religious affiliation. So none of that should be in your resume. None of it. It doesn't matter. You're a spouse. You're trying to get hired. You're trying to get in the federal government to make your job move with you. So none of those things really matter. You shouldn't have a photo of yourself, because why do they need to see you? They don't need to see you to know that you can do the job. All they need to do is look at them credentials and say, hey, they got it going on. I want them on my team. So none of these things matter. And when you give the social, that means you got the job. And you're going to give it to an HR, OPM representative. Okay, so don't trip, chocolate chip. When I click other, I got a whole lot going on, as I said before, but we're going to just go ahead and get to it. So this here is my marriage license showing that I'm married. This here is the military spouse checklist. So the checklist, it pretty much confirms that you currently are a military spouse. You have not been offered a position. You have not declined a position. And it's just a questionnaire briefly asking you these questions. And you upload this so that the hiring person can see, hey, this person is qualified. They have not been offered a position at their current duty station or within 100 miles of their duty station. They are not within the federal government. So this kind of gives them a brief synopsis of who you are as a spouse and making sure that you check all of the boxes that they need you to check. Here is my active duty orders coming to JBLM. This here PDF and this here PDF are transcripts. This was my first set of transcripts. This is my new set of transcripts. So of course, I finished college twice. I have an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree. So previously I uploaded my associate's degree because I wanted credit for that. And now I got a bachelor's degree so I can get a higher GS position. So I want credit for that. But both of them are there because both of them have been completed by moi. So that's why they are there. So as long as you have mainly your marriage license, your spouse checklist, your PCS orders, and if any of you are graduates or recently attended college or want to get credit for credits, because a lot of the positions will ask you if you have some college, make sure you upload those too. They just need verification and proof. when you're checking these boxes and you're answering these questions, they want to make sure you are not lying, you are not a liar. So go ahead and prove to these people you got some education, okay? All right, let's keep moving along. Let's hop into the application process, okay? So I have saved 4 positions. Of course, I've told y'all I'm going to Camp Humphreys. There's an HR position, there's a contract specialist position, there is a youth supervisor position, and of course, there is an IT position that I totally enjoy. So one of these, I'm just going to go ahead and fill it out with you. So this HR spec position, we are going to go to full job announcement. It says
Now, all of these filters are here based off of what I entered in my profile when I signed up with the Login.gov system. So it constantly reads it. Like I said, you never have to go in and change it based off of your preferences. These will follow your profile. So anytime you log into USAJOBS and you search anything on there, these all will pop up. Now, you can of course remove these filters if they no longer apply, or you can go in and re-edit your profile on Login.gov, or go to USAJobs.gov, go to your profile and edit these things, because of course things change all the time. So we're going to go to the side and we're going to click hiring path. And of course, we're looking at spouses. So there's 172 jobs right here at JBLM for spouses, right? Of course, there's other hiring paths, but baby, spouses is right there. Competitive service jobs that military spouses may be eligible to apply. So we're going to find one that I qualified for. So let's look. I qualified for a lot of these, but let's make it simple. For the sake of time, we're going to go back up and we are going to let's do this. It's a remote position, meaning I can take it wherever I want. Let's apply to this. A contract specialist, right? GS12. So this is an open continuous announcement standing register. It will be used to fill immediate and future vacancies. There may be multiple cutoff dates, with the first being April 29th, 2024. Additional cutoff dates may be established as needed until all vacancies have been filled. Okay, pretty clear cut. Over here, it shows the salary range. It shows the salary is $86,000 to $113,000, which is currently where I'm in between this bracket. Shows the pay scale of GS12. It does show anywhere in the US, but they do let you go overseas with these too. It is remote. Travel occasionally, no biggie. There's no relocation expenses because of the hiring path, but that's okay. It's a full-time position. It is competitive, and it gives you the job family. There's no security clearance required. There's no ongoing drug test required for this position. So it's an awesome position, right? Right. So we're going to go ahead and click apply. And when you click apply, it instantly brings you to this window where it says your resumes. So you check the resume that's best suited for this position. And I know that my 2024 resume is suited for this position. So I'm going to hit save and continue. And it brings you to the next one, to select your documents to prove what you say. So I always check marriage license. I always check my SF50, being prior, government employee. I always check my orders. I was a little tongue tied right there. I always check my transcripts, and I always check my spouse checklist. And you hit save and continue. After you hit save and continue, it shows you everything that you would like. Review your package. So it's showing you that, hey, you've selected this specific resume. You can add it or remove. You can add a different one and remove this one if you want to. It allows you to view it. Come down to your documents. It's saying that, hey, you've added these 5 documents to the package. They are going to view these. So I acknowledge I have reviewed my resume and documents. Save and continue. So then it says demographic details. I want to share my demographic details to help improve the hiring process. Meaning that if you are located where this position is, it helps. They're not sending somebody from a different location, because they do like to verify that you are within the commuting area. So if you're not in the commuting area, you're not gonna be at the top of their list, okay? But that's okay. Save and continue. And it says, how did you hear about us? Most of the time, a job search, and then I hit other, and I just let it be. Or sometimes I click search on USAJOBS. It is what it is. They really don't pay attention. So, to continue the application, right here, I certify to the best of my knowledge and belief all the information submitted by me with my application for employment is true, complete, and made in good faith, and that I have truthfully and accurately represented my work experience, knowledge, skills, abilities, and education degrees, accomplishments. I understand that the information provided by may be investigated. I understand that misrepresenting my experience or education or providing false or fraudulent information in or with my application may be grounds for not hiring me or firing me after I begin work. I also understand that false or fraudulent statements may be punishable by fine or imprisonment. Don't be lying on your resume like these people tell you on their TikTok and Instagram. Don't be lying. You can lie a little bit, but don't lie. What you lying for? Don't get the job the right way. Well, I did go ahead and skip over one part because it does show my address and my personal identifiable information. And again, this is the internet. Y'all don't need to know that. But here we go to the meat and potatoes. Do you claim veteran preference? Of course, if you're a prior service and you're a spouse, go ahead and get them points because you move up the ladder. Of course, veterans are first, then spouses. Like I said, I'd rather be second than last, okay? So you go ahead and scroll again. Current Department of Army civilian employees. So if you've been in the civilian sector, you wouldn't be here. You don't have to check these boxes because, again, you guys are here to learn how to navigate this website. So that means you guys haven't been here before. This is your first time, okay? So we're going to go ahead and scroll past that. I am not a current Department of Army civilian employee, so we're going to hit no. Current Department of Defense employee, and it's saying any of these, I am not, so we're going to hit no. Interagency Career Transition Assistance Program. I don't belong to any other agencies, and it's been more than 2 years since I was within the agency, so we're going to hit no again. Land Management Workforce Flexibility Act. I do not work for Land Nav, so we're going to hit no. Military spouse under Executive Order EO 13473. That's where we sit, okay? It says you are eligible for this hiring category if you are a spouse of a member of armed forces serving on active duty for more than 180 days other than for training. Baby, okay? This is our section. This is where we get our yes. There might have been a lot of no's, but baby, this is our yes. Are you a spouse of a 100% disabled service member injured while on active duty? Are you the unmarried widow or widower of a service member who was killed while performing active duty? Kind of like we read on the first page. All 3 of these are the same thing. It's just reiterating it here to make sure you know to hit that yes box. And right here, it's saying you have to supply supporting documentation, which is what your marriage license is for. So boom. So all I'm going to do is hit yes, because we're a spouse. And it goes priority placement, DOD, military reservist, or National Guard. So they do trump us too, because National Guard and reservists are technically service members at the time. So some of them only work 1 week in a month. Some of them sign up for active duty orders. But here's another avenue for them saying, hey, I want priority placement as a guardsman or a reservist. And you go ahead and click the box. So I'm going to hit no because I'm neither. Priority placement, DOD, spouse preference. Now here's the tricky part, right? If you're choosing to apply to this job and you're located within the commuting area and you want to be placed on priority placement based off being a spouse at your current location, you can use military priority placement for spouses one time at the base that you're currently at. And what this does is it says, hey, I have a spouse in this pool. There's spouses in this pool. This one qualifies. So we're going to choose her because she qualified and she applied and she's getting priority placement. It puts you at the top of the pile as a military spouse and you're requesting this priority placement. And in here, there's a note. It says military spouses are eligible for one permanent non-competitive appointment using their preference eligibility for the duration of the active duty sponsor's assignment to a permanent duty station, as long as the military spouse has not declined or accepted a permanent federal or non-appropriated fund position in the commuting area of the sponsor's current local duty station. Again, you get one each time you PCS or go to another location. And if you want to be selected as a priority placement, you cannot decline. So you can apply to 10 of these, but the moment they send you an offer, if you decline it, you no longer have preference. You have the standard military spouse hiring path, but you no longer have preference. This military spouse preference is everything because they move you up. So you can go ahead and hit this. I like the position. The position is a good salary. It is remote, so I can take it with me. So we're going to go ahead and hit yes, because if they offer it to me, I'm going to take it. It says priority placement program, DOD, military reservist, National Guard preference, eligible technician receiving disability retirement. So again, this doesn't apply to us. This is for reservists and National Guardists that are receiving disability funding. So they say, hey, we understand you're giving your time. We want to give you a little bit of priority placement too. So it doesn't apply to me, so we're going to hit no. Here's another priority placement, DOD, retained grade preference eligibility. So if you were already a GS, you wouldn't be here. But if you were already a GS and you wanted to do the priority placement to retain the same grade that you had previously to come into this new duty station, you would go in here and you would hit yes if you have a notification letter from the last 2 years stating that, hey, this was the downgrade date, and so you want to keep your same GS level. You would hit yes, and you would submit your SF50 showing like, hey, I was prior to this date, I was this GS level, and it hasn't been more than 2 years. Please put me in this position and keep my pay the same as a GS. And so I'm going to hit no. Reinstatement. This one is also good. So if, again, you were previously employed with the military and you want to go ahead and get back in, this is for you. But we're going to hit no because I'm outside of the hiring. So this one says past 3 years. I separated. So yeah, we're going to keep going. This is for veterans. And so are you applying considering under the VEO for veterans? I am not. So we're going to hit continue. And it says conditions, financial disclosure statement, OGE, Form 450 is used to assist agencies and employees to avoid conflicts between duties and financial interests. This position requires pre-employment financial disclosure and annual thereafter in accordance with DoD Directive 5500-7-R. Are you willing to disclose your financial affiliation prior to employment annually thereafter to obtain and maintain employment in this position? I have nothing to hide. The military already know our business anyway because my husband is active duty. So yeah, come check these bank accounts. Come check these receipts. We're okay. This position has a TDY or business travel requirement of 20% of the time. Are you willing and able to travel away from your permanent duty station up to 20% of the time? I am okay with that because, of course, they're going to pay for it. I don't have a problem with it. Do my job. And here goes the assessment part. So as you can see up here, the application progress is going through. It has the open period dates. It has the announcement number. It has the agency you will be working for, application status, application incomplete because we are currently filling the application out. And so now here is the meats and potatoes. So you'll go through this assessment. I'm going to go through it really quickly because I'm going to read it to myself. But you're going to go through this assessment and you're going to answer the questions pertaining to your background. And after you answer the questions pertaining to your background, you'll go ahead and drop your documents into the positions that they're supposed to be in. So pause for a second. I'm going to go ahead and go through these because I know most of the questions because, of course, I filled out 84 applications within the U.S. government. And so I already know what these questions is because I've already applied to a position like this before. So hold that thought. Let me go ahead and go through these. All right, so I've went through 25 questions for the assessment. The last one is always the same. It says your responses to this announcement and assessment questionnaire, along with your resume and all supporting documents, are subject to evaluation and verification to ensure accuracy. Please take this opportunity to review your responses and ensure the accuracy. I always hit A because, yes, I certify that all my responses to this questionnaire are true and accurate. I accept that if my supporting documents and or later steps in the selection process do not support one or more of my responses to the questionnaire, then my application may be rated lower and or I may be removed from further consideration. Alrighty, so here is the last portion of the application. Click here and I hit my 2024 resume. I hit my PCS orders. I hit proof of marriage. I'll do my marriage license. I come over here, add my SF50, which is my view PDF. I add my transcripts, which is my UMGC. And I go ahead and, oh, they don't have other on here. Most of the time they have other, but they don't. So you know what I like to do? I like to come here and I like to add my spousal checklist to the proof of marriage status. And I hit continue. And it says application, assessment, and documents. Everything is a green check. If you did not add what they asked you to do in the beginning, there will not be all green checks. Application ready to submit. It will confirm that you've done everything that you needed to do for this application process. And all I do is hit application. Thank you for your application. It is being processed. So as soon as this hits and it says received at the top, the little green right here, you are done with the application. It'll send you an email to the email on file and you are good to go. Okay, you are good to go. And it's just that simple. You can go through and just see everything. And I apply to everything. Okay? Apply to everything. If you think you qualify, apply to everything. Don't limit yourself to just admin positions. Don't limit yourself to little. Apply to everything. Answer the questions truthfully. Apply to everything. If you qualify, apply, okay? Don't sell yourself short. They got a lot to go around. Go ahead and get what they got to go around. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for catching this tea. Okay, come back. Come back. Like, subscribe, share. My next video will be about the MySQL website for you military spouses, showing you all of what it has to offer. It's going to be a little bit longer video just for the simple fact that MySQL has so much to offer.